The podcast is go! And we're live! Wow, I'm really close to the camera today. Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast, to the podcast called The Crafty Boys, and this is episode number 48, where we're going to be talking about a couple different beers today. And we were gone last week because all hell broke loose and shit went wrong and stuff like that, but hey, we're back. And I think the week before that, did we have internet problems or something? Or the week before that, I don't know. Technology has not been our friend, and last week was no different. So, we're back. I am Shane. I am, of course, here in Vancouver. I will let the other boys introduce themselves.
All right, I'm Dave, and I am in Comox Valley on Vancouver Island.
I'm Alan. I'm also on Vancouver Island, but a little bit south of Dave,
Just
geographically. Huh?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'm in Victoria, and over to Locke.
And
right
I'm
there.
in Vancouver. My name is Locke.
Wow. Also known
No
as
banter. There's no banter from this man. It's Locke. Tell us about yourself. I am Locke. Works for me. Hey, I understand Locke speak. Yeah. So this week we're talking about two beers. I think we are. Those beers. I'm assuming. We haven't actually talked about the beer at all today, establishing who has actually got what, because there were two suggestions. I only found one, and apparently my beer searching ability, which is basically pointing at Allison and being like, "Can you get my beer when you're out?" Is pretty lame. So I really need to step up to find both beers every week. But
yes.
I this week have picked up, as this is, by the way, all Locke's suggestions this week, which has been a while since he chose, is the Innis Gunn Espresso Barley Wine. Now, what did you guys get?
I got the first choice myself. It's the Ciel Nuit
Ciel Nuit from where?
Spinnakers,
Right on.
which is, I think, near and dear to Locke's heart, in fact, which is probably why he chose it.
And in Victoria.
Yes, sorry, in Victoria.
Yep.
And what did you get, Alan?
I got the Ciel Nuit as well. Yeah, from Spinnakers in Victoria.
And
Yes,
Locke? Sorry.
And I, of course, have both of these fine beverages. So Ciel Nuit is described as a dark sour, and it was aged in oak, French oak barrels, it says. Yeah. Are we?
And the same thing, of course, for the other one. Aged in oak barrels, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, so everything's been aged in oak barrels. It's lock, stock, and two smoking barrels is what it is.
Very, very cool. All right, well, let's do the open, because if we want to get this show on the road, I am, of course, opening the Innis Gunn. Wow! Wow, that is strong. I just popped it open, and it was like, hey, Shane, guess what this beer smells like? Wow.
Now, I'm eager to try that one out.
Here, Alan, can you get your glass? I'll just pour it right here. Just right there. So hold the glass up, man.
Shut up. Now, Shane, in our Advent calendars, there was a barley wine that was in there.
Yes.
Towards the end. Now, I'll admit that was the first barley wine I had ever had, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I wish I could have had more.
This I can already tell. All right, so I'm going to hold this up to the camera here and put a little light on the subject. Look at that. Oh, God, that's... Oh, yeah, you dark, palely dark thing, you.
Now, I'm going to make a quick note on glassware here. Everybody seems to be sort of on board with what I kind of figured, which is that you want a round bottom on these. Point of the round bottom is so that you don't lose a lot of carbonation in your pour, and as you're sipping it, it kind of keeps a bit of that effervescence kind of going in the beverage, right? Instead of creating a head.
Excellent.
I would have thought that it was the maintaining the carbonation was more about pouring technique than the glass. That's not true, though.
I think one of the things about a round bottom glass is the beverage does maintain a little bit more of its effervescence than if it's in a cylindrical kind of.
Mine's kind of squarish. I mean, it's definitely not as round as what Shane's got there.
It's not as round, but it's still not a total cylinder, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not picky about glassware, and I don't know if I credit people who are super fussy about it, but I think in general it's just interesting that everybody gravitated towards straight out of the gate instead of going for a mug or a tankard or something with these. Or pint glass,
Right.
So tell me what you guys taste.
All right, I'm going to taste this one.
In the Innis Gunn.
Yeah, okay, go with the Innis Gunn first.
As Shane is drinking.
I taste the sweat of Greek goddesses.
Wow.
Okay.
That is amazing. That's like a beehive mated with a chocolate bar.
Whoa.
A beehive.
Like all of the honey inside of a beehive just one day woke up and said, "That's it. We're no longer food for bees. We're out of here." And just quietly crept out and slithered across the ground and then found
Chocolate bar.
Actually,
what's run away?
Sorry?
Does it run away with the chocolate bar, or what happens with the chocolate bar?
I think actually it passed through an apple orchard and ground up a bunch of apple trees into it, and then found a chocolate bar laying on the side of the street, and
So
made
isn't
Wow.
it
Normally,
espresso?
over to orchards and bite apple trees up.
Wow, that's really good.
Sorry, what happens with the chocolate bar? How does the chocolate bar, how do they
Well, it's picture it this way: a beehive, the honey just leaking out and deciding to go somewhere else, and then passing through an apple orchard and just grabbing the trees and gobbling them down, and then wandering out into the street and finding chocolate bars. I don't know. A bunch of honey hit and took down a 7-Eleven today and emptied them of all chocolate. But dark chocolate, not. I hate milk chocolate. Milk chocolate sucks.
Who would use milk chocolate in a beer? Seriously.
I'm sure it's been done.
Probably. But, okay, so isn't the Innis Gunn, isn't it labeled as an espresso barley wine, did you say?
Yes, which I don't get any hint of coffee at all. It's
really?
I mean, I guess I guess the real flavors are like the oak tinge to it, and then the espresso. But that's totally not what I taste. I know that's what's supposed to be in here, but I mean, it does actually have other spices in it, which I don't think they list anywhere on the bottle. Which I read it earlier and that didn't seem to. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. No, sorry. An infusion of cardamom, mace, and cloves. So yeah, I actually, you know what it is? It's probably the cloves that are really solidifying all those flavors together. So that's probably what I'm tasting. But I gotta say, it does taste like a beehive, ate an apple and then had sex with a chocolate bar.
Fantastic.
What about you guys?
Well, I've already poured my beer, the Ciel de Nuit, from Spinnaker's. I'm really liking it so far. It's a dark sour. It's not as sour as I was expecting. It has a rating on the bottle. I can just sort of hold that up there carefully. I don't want to spill everywhere.
How
you can
sour?
see that
That's like 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 for sour.
I've got if this is a 4 out of 5 for sour, then Storm Imperial, it probably has a couple of extra sales beyond what it are allowed on this rating system.
I'm thinking, as far as like sours go, that I would rate this either a 2 or a 3, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, it's not super sour.
No, but it does have a little bit of a hint of sour to it. I mean, it's definitely there. They're not trying to take say a dark ale and pass it off as a sour. This is actually a sour. It's just not as sour as they're saying. It's pretty dark and funky. They have a funky rating on here. I mean, how do you know if something's funky or not?
You're using wild yeast, so
Yeah.
You know, and I guess an open question is when it says that it uses. Hold on, let me quote correctly. When it says it's using a secondary fermentation in barrels with a blend of wild yeast and bacteria. When they say bacteria, are we talking like a Brettanomyces kind of bacteria? Is it doing something like that? Because I mean, you know, like those bread beers get. That's what funky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't know enough about the process of making a sour beer to be able to comment on that. I just know that I've had a few sour beers that have been considerably more sour than this one. Not to say that this one isn't good. It is good. It's not as sour as they make it out to be. But otherwise, I mean, I'm really liking it. Dave?
I'm not a big fan of the pre-aftertaste. Actually.
The which?
The pre-aftertaste.
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 What?
Well, because it seems to me the flavor doesn't hit you right away. It's a little sweeter, and then it kind of, I don't know, it seems to go through this sour, and then it goes back into a sweet. That's what's left on your tongue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm finding anyways. And, yeah, I don't know. I guess I probably wouldn't be a fan of sours if this is what a sour is.
Well, you've had sours before.
I have, but I had a very unsour sour because, if I remember right, the first one we had was another lock choice, actually, which was that Digestive Bourgogne.
Yeah.
Belgian.
Yeah.
And that one is still, to this day, hands down, my favorite. No questions asked.
Yeah. No. I second that opinion. I mean,
it's a very different one, though.
It's a different kind of drink than that. Now, compared to the Duchess, this is definitely drier in terms of its finish.
Yeah.
What I kind of like about it is that it's got a kind of I mean, it's not by no means as strong, but it's, in terms of its overall profile, it's sort of like when I first sniffed it, it was kind of like plum pudding soaked in brandy. You know what I mean? It's got a bit of brandy.
Okay, yeah, that's another way to describe it. Totally.
And that comes from the fact that it was kept in the French oak barrels.
Oak barrels, yeah.
Which is actually a trend I'm seeing in quite a few seasonal beers lately.
I actually think they've managed to create something that's pretty drinkable and really, really complex in a way that has come across, again, as a kind of a balanced drink. Like, when you look at all the different things going into this, it could so easily be just a clown show. You know what I mean? Like, you've got oak barrels, you've got, secondary fermentation, wild yeast.
Bacteria.
Yeah, you've got, I mean, it's dark. I mean, all the way through, there's all of these things that could send it off on some crazy tangent, but instead, overall, all the different elements are coming together to create something that's sort of
And if you think about how long it takes to create a beer like this, I mean, we're talking months to properly ferment it, and during that time, anything could happen to spoil the whole batch, and none of that happened. It says something to me about quality control, and that they know how to put together a quality product.
Yeah.
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 Product. Awesome. Quality products are good for you.
Okay. On that note, I have both. Tell me more about your
Holy
one. So
crap. I'm actually wanting to know about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Talk about the Innis Gunn again, Shane, because I'm about to open mine.
Well, the Innis Gunn, I mean, I'm really driving on it because it has it's such a mishmash of flavors, and like that other one that we had way back when in December, I mean, it didn't strike me as much then, but not this particular. It was a different one, but actually, Alan, do you remember what the heck it was called?
Which?
The barley wine one that we had beforehand.
It was.
I'm trying to remember what it was actually called.
I don't remember what it was called. I don't even remember who made it. It was either Central City or Parallel 49. I don't remember which. But it was fantastic. I'm leaning towards City.
Well, I mean, all the beers that were in that this year, I have to say it was better than last year's, and a lot of them, since they were unique, about half of them or something. Rarely did I kind of go, it tastes just like, insert other beer name. I mean, this to me actually kind of goes up to the time I had peated beer from Steel Toad Brewery, or at least I'm assuming Steel Toad made it. Locke, do you recall?
Yeah, no, that was a Steel Toad special edition. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I had never had a peated beer before, and that one kind of blew me away because it was just good. It was just a decent beer that, yes, it was different. Yes, it was unique, but it wasn't like somebody took a candy, like a candy bar, like a chocolate bar, and melted it down and said, "This is now a beer." Kind of like what I kind of feel about some of those rogue beers that are I mean, they're okay, but they definitely have unique flavors to them. But sometimes I kind of they don't wow me as some of the other ones I've had. So yeah, I mean, I'm really jiving on this one. So I think this is this I give a thumbs up to. I want to have more of it. So what do you think, Locke?
The sweetness is surprising to me. Like, I've had a lot of different Innis Gunn, sort of variety formats. Like, and this is easily the furthest adrift I've seen them go from their their Scottish ale in oak barrels routine. Like, this is much sweeter. It's probably also about as strong as I've seen them go in terms of alcohol. It's complex. I mean, I don't know, but that crazy ass beehive that's on its rampage, like, before it goes into the Quickie Mart and robs it of chocolate bars, I think it maybe stops and has a smoke and carouses with some women first. Like, it's
It very well could have, because just saying.
So, Shane, that barley wine that was in the Advent calendar was made by Central City, and it's called Thor's Hammer.
Right. Okay. So that that one was good, and I really enjoyed that one. Yeah. But I could not remember the name for the life of me. So now that you have had, now that we all tried the beer, What are we all thinking as a sort of, not a final verdict, but what do you think of the effort made by, in this case, I'm going to talk about Innis Gunn because that's the only one I've had. But of course, the effort put into it to make it really, I'm going to call it unique. I mean, it's not unique, but I'm going to call it unique because that's kind of what I feel about it.
I kind of okay. Look, I'm the only one with both beverages here, and I'm going to say both of these. I'm pleased with my choices because I was hoping to find something interesting. I always try to do interesting, and these are both interesting. Like they're both distinguishable from other beverages in the same class or whatever. Both of them good. I don't know if I would want to be having two of these Innis Guns, or you know, I wouldn't want to be having an evening of them. Put it that way. Like,
yeah,
this is a dessert kind of beverage, you know. But the
Ciel
way
to describe it.
I could have multiples of those.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that because that was exactly what I was thinking earlier. Was it kind of tastes like I'm having a cake to some degree. You know, that you're drinking a cake in the bottle, and it really doesn't matter. Like it's really good.
Sacre tort.
So you know. What about okay, talk a little bit about the other one. Like I haven't had it, so I don't really have any sort of opinion about the other beers. So talk about that one a little bit, just a little more, just to.
I recommend that. I mean, if you like sour beers, or maybe you want to try sour beers for the first time, but I think the Ciel de Nuit from Spinnakers might be a good choice. It's not too sour, but it's not so unsour that you don't really get to experience it. You know what I'm saying? So I recommend trying it out. I give it a big thumbs up for quality. All the things that they're doing in this beer and the amount of time it must have taken to actually put it all together to wind up with this kind of a product at the end, I think took a lot of work. So I'm giving like 2 big thumbs up for effort. And it's a pretty good beer. Not as sour as some others, but other than that, it's a good beer.
Dave?
I wouldn't choose this myself.
No.
But having said that, I would have to back up what Alan just said, because I appreciate it for the amount of work that these guys did. And I do appreciate the interestingness of the flavors. Because it's funny, even if I don't necessarily really enjoy a beer, I like the different flavors that always happen in these kind of not totally wild beers, but you know, they're doing something different, and I can dig that.
Something else. Oh, sorry.
This is well put together. Go ahead.
Something else that, and we should maybe point out, and something I never even mentioned. The Ciel de Nuit is on the where I bought it at. It was on the shelf for $7.99. For a sour, that's fairly inexpensive. I mean, some sours can go up as high as I've seen some sours as high as like $35 a bottle. Now, mind you, that's an extreme case, but you know, if you can get a sour for under $10, you're doing pretty well. So keep that in mind also when you're trying this. That you know they're not asking for a king's ransom for it.
And I would actually say, out of just Victoria, I think this compares preferably in my view with the Driftwood's, what is it called, Occultus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. which probably is more sour than this, but just a less well-balanced beverage overall. Though, yeah, you gotta give Driftwood for the art on that owl and everything looks very good.
Now, I had another sour from Spinnaker's not too long ago. It was one that they had put out for New Year's, and it was called, what was it called? Happy New Beer.
Oh yeah.
And actually, it was pretty good. I would say it was more sour than this one. It was sort of like a cherry kind of sour type thing. It was really good. Now I got mine in a growler. I didn't get it in a bottle.
A little piece of trivia about the Happy Beer. I don't know if they're still doing this, but for a few years, Happy New Beer was just recycling the labels every year. They had a bunch of labels made up so that they could do it, but it was a different beer every year.
Well, probably the same thing then. I mean,
they had Happy New Beer labels, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe, what have we got cooking in the back burner there? We got any beers that we can put out this year? Yeah, I've got like a candy cane one. Let's throw that one in.
Yes. Yeah. And speaking about Spinnakers, I also noticed when I was buying this that they have two new beers that I was really intrigued by, and both of them, they had a coffee stout and a coffee a blonde. Both of them made in conjunction with Fernwood Coffee.
Okay.
And I am really eager to try these, both of them, especially the coffee blonde. You see a lot of coffee stouts. You don't see a lot of coffee blondes. So I'm interested to see how that one will be, and I'll try that one at some point and report back to you guys. But yeah, those are out right now. Huh?
I'm more into the gingers myself, but
the gingers, yeah,
that's good too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. So we actually have some links. I'm gonna move on from the beer. The beer we've already given the thumbs up to on both counts. I'm actually nursing this one because it's so good. But Alan, you brought two links to us today.
Well, actually, the second one, forget about. But the first one, I think it looks pretty good. It's topical to our podcast. Anyway, Victoria Beer Week is coming up March 4th through 12th. And for those that are unfamiliar with Victoria Beer Week, it's kind of like the Victoria, Great Canadian Beer Fest, which happens every year here in Victoria for like the past 24 years or whatever. Somebody recently started up Victoria Beer Week, and what it is, it's a whole bunch of events that tie into local BC craft beer. So they have a schedule up, and they've got cask night. They've got a brew cruise, a home brewers workshop. What is it? Pedaling for pints, so you can get on your bike and ride around Victoria and tour some of the craft breweries. There's a beer school. They have a
best kind of school ever.
They have a beer-BQ at the Duke, and the Duke is like a Western bar downtown, and yeah, I mean it's kind of stupid having a Western bar in like the most urban area of the city, but whatever. So anyway, there's a Western bar, and it's called beer-BQ at the Duke. Yeah.
Big Bad John's, I think, is the one exception that proves the rule there. But
I suppose so, yeah. But Big Bad John's is like...
Big Bad John's was there when that was country.
Exactly, yeah. Let's see, what else do they got? Like a pub crawl. Anyway, there's like a whole bunch of events, probably about a dozen of them. And tickets prices range from like, I don't know, like maybe $25 up to like over 100, I think, depending on the event that you want to go to. Anyway, it's kind of cool. I have never been to any Victoria Beer Week events before. I think this is maybe their third or fourth year. And I was thinking I might check it out this year.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. So, if you do go, what events have you been looking at?
Well, I was looking at with a buddy of mine. One of the cast nights was going to be a focus on sour beers.
Cool.
Which we thought was kind of sounded good. So I'm just trying to find the information on that here right now. Where is it? Okay, Pucker Up, a sour beer showcase, and that is happening on March 8th, 2016 at 7 o'clock, and it is featuring sour beers from Bad Tattoo Brewery, Longwood, Central City Brewers, Driftwood, Four Winds, Lighthouse, Strange Fellows, Powell Street, Yellow Dog, and Spinnakers. And it's $30 per ticket, and that includes entrance to the Garrick's Head pub in Bastion Square, and 6 drink tickets.
I'm impressed. Well, I want to go.
All right, let's go.
So I'm just taking a little look at the people involved in Beer Week. So one of the guys used to be a manager for the Garrick's Head.
Yes.
And I got to say, out of all the spots in downtown Victoria, like in terms of having an extensive tap list, they've been at that game as consistently as anybody for the last couple of years. I remember when they first patched over to getting the really the extensive taps, because before then you remember what it was like. It was charming, great. I loved going there.
It kind of reminded me of Cheers, actually.
Yeah.
True.
They still haven't lost all of that. I'm pleased to
No,
say.
not at all. But they've got like 40 taps.
Yeah. Given that we've got, we were talking about doing a Valentine's Day component. If there's a single Valentine's tip I have for any of you singles out there, Garrick says a great place to pick up. Anyway, moving along.
Take notes, Dave.
Moving along, we also have
No comment.
Joe Weeb. I've met this dude. He's the author of Craft Beer Revolution, Insider's Guide to BC Breweries.
He's a thirsty writer.
Yeah.
He's kind of the guy that we aspire to be, kind of. I mean, we don't aspire to be him, but we want to be him. We want to have the same notoriety, right?
Good point.
Yeah. So we also have a rep for Salt Spring Ales. And who are these other two chaps? I don't know. Oh, okay. So this guy was in the campaign for Real Ale Society, British Columbia. So that guy seems to be kind of...
Which is the organization that's in charge of Great Canadian Beer Fest.
Yeah. And then we also have... Okay, I don't understand. Oh, she's an event manager. Okay, we got an event manager, and who's this last chap? The technology dude. I'm assuming he's their online guy.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. So 5 people, it looks like, teamed up to put this awesome thing together. It sounds like a very good thing.
So we should all get together and go.
Well, it's a nice idea. When is happening exactly?
I'm doing my hair then. What?
Well, I mean, it's not like I don't have reasons to visit the island. I do. Sorry, when is this all happening? Next week?
It is happening. No.
Next week is in March.
March 4th through 12th.
March 4th through 12th. All right.
All right. So I tell you what, when
Split
the
it.
show's over, we'll talk about it and see if we can get together and do something, and maybe we can do like a special show from one of these events, or not. Whatever.
Not. I think we could totally do it. I think it's a good idea.
All of us except for
considering
Dave.
we like beer and stuff. It's kind of important. I think it's a great idea. I think if we can pull it off, let's do it. And we can also, have a remote camera with us and do stuff like that.
Satellite uplinks.
Satellite uplink, because you never know, we might need one. Dave, what do you think, man?
I think it's a good idea. Give me an excuse to go down there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I totally forgot what I was going to ask you, Alan. I did the question, but I've since lost it. So never mind.
All right.
Ignore me entirely.
All right, that's easy to do.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
Ow! I felt that one on my elbow. So yeah, I think that.
Okay, so I think we need to have a segment with Dr. Love. Valentine's Day is coming up.
It's true. I think
We talked about this, so let's do it.
Love.
Doctor. Now presenting. No, here, just say we got to do the lead in here. Okay, good.
Okay.
And now presenting an interlude with Dr. Love.
You know what's kind of funny that you say that is remember that WWF wrestling guy?
It was. I think it was Buddy Love.
Buddy Love, yeah. Do you remember that? That was awesome.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So just say let's here. Somebody hum like some sort of like intro music or something.
And now, here is a continuing adventures of Dr. Love.
Love.
I was waiting for someone to jump into Dr. Love. But yeah, so for next week, I think Dr. Love's going to make a visit. Dr. Love has got a lot of great information about the art of love and how poor saps like us cannot screw it up. Because God, do we need it. What?
Nothing. I'm just going.
Okay. To the bathroom? Anyway, so I'm not sure what else
Okay,
to say.
so I have a
about this
question
here.
for Dr. Love.
Oh, you want Dr. Okay, hang on. If I have to get into character right now. Hang on.
You look like that guy on the sports radio thing from Toronto.
Dr. Love is here. Why don't you guys shoot some questions at me? I'm Dr. Love, and I've got all the answers. Tell me what you're ailing you and your of life.
Well, Dr. Love. Hi, my name is Dave.
Yes, my
from
child.
Battle Creek. I have a problem. I only last about 20 seconds, and then what can I do about that?
Well, Dr. Love has got some very simple things you can do. When you're trying to last longer with your lady, if your lady's looking at you and just trying to tell you all kinds of things without saying any words, like tears and crying, you've got a really simple job ahead of you. You've got to make sure that when you are looking at your love, you've got to picture her as kind of like one of those people that's adventuring, and I'm talking like a female Indiana Jones. So when you look at her, you got to think of her as the greatest adventure ever. Because when you can go up one side of her, climb to her very temple mountaintop, and down the other side, delving into the deepest crevices that she could ever provide, you'll be able to last forever. Because you'll be searching and trying to please that mountaintop in so many different ways. You're going to be too busy thinking about how are you going to make that mountaintop erupt like a volcano. So make sure that you're delving into every single crevice, climbing upon every single mountain.
Every crevice? All of them?
Every single, and I'm not talking about all the dirty crevices. I'm also talking about the armpit crevice. I'm talking about the crevice you got here behind your ear. You gotta make sure, you see these things? They're nostrils. And you know what? They're also crevices. You gotta make sure. You also gotta look into her eyes, and you gotta take those eyelids and flip those suckers up. Delve into there as well. Please that mountain temple any way you can. Because you're going to get one of two things that are going to answer your entire desperation to please her and last longer than a pipsqueak in a pipsqueaking contest. You gotta...
Love.
Yeah, sorry my child. Did I answer your question?
I have a question. What do you
Yes, let's
do?
hear it, child.
What do you do when you're with a woman and her pussy climbs up on top of you while you're in the middle of it and extends its claws into your neck?
Well, you see, what you gotta do is when we're talking about the fine art of feline bestiality, you gotta make sure that the cat gets really involved. First, the cat is trying to make sure that you recognize that it is yet to be pleasured. So you're up there pleasuring away, making sure that the owner is getting everything they could ever want out of you. If that cat mounts you and digs claws in the back of your neck, don't freak out. Don't cry like a lion cub. You gotta make sure to grab that secondary pussy and make it your own. You gotta grab that thing and you gotta bite into its neck. You gotta grab it and hold it to yourself. And by the way, while you're doing all of these very important things, you gotta make sure that you are not ceasing to pleasure the master. You gotta keep delving in. You gotta keep making the master happy while you're making its really upset underling one of your own harem. Because, you know, you can never have enough pussy in your harem.
Well done.
Dave, do you have a question for Dr. Love?
Dr. Love is open for one more question.
Oh man, no. No, I really don't.
Dr. Love, I'm sorry, I was going to have to tell you one thing, sir. You need to leave your home. Because if you're not having questions for Dr. Love, you're not seeking any kind of love. And I'm not talking about physical love. I'm talking about talking to the opposite gender. Or, if it's up to you, and you are not into the opposite gender, you talk to the same gender. It doesn't matter to Dr. Love. Love is everywhere. Love is universal. And love will make you the freest type of being ever in the universe. I want to thank you for your questions, children. Thank you for coming out. And Dr. Love, we'll see you next week.
That was Dr. Love. He'll come back next week. Thank you for tuning in to Dr. Love.
Wow, guys, I've been over in the bathroom. What has happened?
Oh,
What have you guys been doing for the last 10 minutes? Where did Dr. Love, where did he go? I didn't get to ask him a question. Dr. Love! No time for love, Dr. Jones. On that note, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for watching. I don't know where my camera is. There it is. And make sure that you guys...
Damn it, Dr. Love.
Make sure that you guys spread the word, get the word out, let people know about this podcast because we do this from the love of beer and nothing else. I'm, of course,
And
Shane
crevices.
In crevices. Of course, am Shane in Vancouver. when I want to find you on the internet, if I look for Crafty Boys and I see your glorious faces, but I want to know more about you individually, where can they find you? Alan, start us off.
Well, you can find me in bed. No, on the internet? Oh, on the internet. Well, they can go on the Twitter.
Yes.
They can go on. Actually, I have a great account on MySpace. I don't remember what it is. No. I'm on Twitter. Alan M. Ford. That's Alan M. as in Marvin, but my middle name's not Marvin. It's Melvin.
Melvin. What about you, Dave?
Me?
No, the other Dave.
Can anybody even... Well, you know. I don't know. Could somebody actually find me online? I don't know.
Well, probably not.
People
Since there's a
could.
dude, like Alan, you guys have doppelgangers on the internet, and they don't like to share. So.
Ah.
What? What do you mean we have doppelgangers?
You have somebody named Alan Ford who dominates your search results, and so does Dave Kelch, which I find incredibly surprising, to be honest, Dave.
Yeah, me too.
So, and what about you, Locke? If people wanted to find you online, actually, well, they probably can't. So, you're not a Facebook user. You're not it. How do you live without Facebook?
Yeah, I happily, very happily.
On that note, again, thank you everybody for watching. Check us out everywhere we are online. We're on the Facebooks, we're on the Twitters, we're on the Google Pluses, and every other place on the planet. So yeah, spread the word. And thanks, and we'll see you guys next week. Take us out, Alan.